My name is Mike Ribichuk, and I teach high school mathematics at A.L. Fortune Secondary School in Enderby and live in Vernon, British Columbia with my wife and 4 children. I would like to welcome you to the guided tour of my electronic portfolio, the final step in earning a Master's of Educational Technology or MET degree from the University of British Columbia. The video you are currently watching is the last of 3 new artifacts that make up some of the requirements of this portfolio. The first artifact, the catalyst for the entire project, was a proposal outlining the major objectives of the portfolio, included the purpose for creating it, the target audience, of which you are included, and of course the body of work supporting the substantial evidence of learning that has occurred throughout the entire MET program. Once the video is complete and you have had a chance to investigate the portfolio in more detail, don't forget to consider the evaluation rubric. This will give you and others a chance to evaluate the contents of the portfolio against a wide array of criteria. Navigation through the site is intended to be very straightforward. Websites open in new windows and are closed directly. PDF files require the use of the back button to return to your place in the portfolio. The navigation button provides some practice links along with a few glitches found in the portfolio itself. Central to both the initial proposal and the portfolio is a metaphor, a symbol used to compare the sometimes abstract and theoretical workings of educational technology with something that is more concrete and familiar. In my case, the Fraser River was a clear choice. I've always been fascinated by maps, and as a young boy, the notion of a river heading up the page before heading down was very perplexing. While this did not seem to make sense, the many hours I spent fishing along the banks of the rivers native to my Out Valley home attuned me to the rhythms of flowing water. As an adult, I have made numerous journeys alongside the Fraser, piece by piece, in every season. My linear journey through MET, from start to finish, has so closely resembled the flow of the Fraser that it was the most appropriate choice for my metaphor. The journey is broken into 4 sections: the headwaters, tributaries, Hell's Gate, and finally the delta. This suits the linearity of my personality, but also unfolds my journey in the order that it occurred. I want information to be easy to access, presented in a clear and logical order. As well as meeting the necessary criteria, this portfolio needs to be a representation of who I am, neat, tidy, and organized, but without a whole lot of flash. I'm hoping this format makes it easy to navigate as you follow my journey. The headwaters. The start of the journey appropriately begins with the technology and the people of our First Nations. The original inhabitants of BC, anchored to the earth and its water, present the logical start to my program. The meager beginnings of portfolios and research paper are evident in this section. The tributaries include the 4 core courses and represents the majority of the theory presented in the program. It was during this time that my modular writing skills regularly led to the struggle of getting what is in my head down on paper. This has improved somewhat over time, but is still an area that requires diligence. In the tributaries, I started to gain expertise and confidence with the wide array of technical skills and application. During Hell's Gate, I can never remember a time in my life where I have been so busy. In the first 3 months of 2012, I had to squeeze hellish commitments of work, MET, basketball, and family into a framework that seemed impossible. There were instances when I thought I might drown as I struggled to barely keep my head above water. As I near the delta, the waters have slowed, allowing for growth and reflection. The final stage of my journey is nearly complete. Like the Fraser flowing into the Pacific, it is time for me to join with the many others who have embraced educational technology and faced the challenges that lay ahead. Now that you know how the portfolio is organized and why, let me explain a few other aspects. The entire portfolio is created in WordPress and is hosted by UBC Blogs. I chose WordPress because I had used it before and was familiar with some of its affordances, but also because it presents an opportunity to show how much I have grown in the construction of electronic websites. Each of the 4 pages from the metaphor contains the course number and name, followed by a write-up. In each write-up, I attempt to present an overview of the course, the impact of the content, along with some personal comments and reflections. Embedded in each write-up are some of the artifacts that were created in each course. These artifacts are presented to showcase my attention toward learning theories, as well as the integration of various technologies and applications in an educational context. Also embedded in each write-up are links to external websites should you want to explore additional areas of interest. Pictures taken from Google Images are presented to add an aesthetic component to the website. They've been stitched together using GIMP software. The bottom of each section contains an artifact quick find for your convenience, along with appropriate references. Each page ends with a link to the next page to aid in navigation. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video introduction, which has been created using a trial version of Camtasia software. I invite you to explore my portfolio in more depth at your leisure. Cheers.